Hey, welcome to the Popcorn Perspective. It's Jay and AK. Today we got a fun docket and we're going to go over TV shows. So, we've had about five trailers come out and we're going to go over Dune, Rings of Power, House of Dragon, Only Murders in the Building, and The Boys. AK, where should we start?
Yeah, before we get into any of these trailers itself, which one of the five trailers were you most hyped for? I know you have not seen many of the projects that's had a continuation season, but which one are you most interested in, or which one are you most intrigued about?
Okay, so all these trailers did their job. They're super intriguing. Uh, I think the one that I'm gonna pick might shock you. It's actually Dune, Prophecy, and you know how I felt about the movie. We
Yes.
had an entire video over it and how I thought it was a perfect movie, but I just didn't like it. So if you guys want to watch it, definitely go see why I felt that way. Um,
I'll
but
post the link in the description so y'all can click that to watch the video.
yeah, yeah, and you can trash me on why I'm wrong. But Dune Prophecy looks really interesting. The whole political dynamic that they've got going and the beginning of the Bene Gesserits, that
Uh-huh.
looks super interesting. How
One
about
thing,
you?
yeah, I guess we can go ahead and focus on Dune since that's the first thing that we are bringing that you brought up. Yeah, I love the idea that we're going to like how the Bene Gesserits came to be and what their ultimate goal or ultimate plan is because it was vaguely referenced or mentioned throughout the two movies that we've gotten, but it's such an interesting group or interesting, I guess. Group of people, and I want to know more or less what their power set is and what their end game is, what their long term goal, because we know that they have something going on for generations and generations in like, in the writing. So I'm very curious to see how the TV show is going to play out.
I absolutely agree, and I think we'll get to see the seeds that they started planting in Arrakis.
Hmm.
To see just how easy it was for Paul Atreides and his mother to take over. I'm sure everyone has watched the movie, so
Yeah. One thing I will say, because I this is a show that I've literally heard nothing about. I had no idea this was coming. I heard reference that they were thinking of doing a TV show, but I knew nothing was greenlit. So this came as a shock to me, and it was a pleasant shock when I woke up a couple days ago and I saw the trailer.
yeah, and so Dune is coming out pretty soon, right?
I
It's
think
June,
it's
right?
August. Oh, is it
Oh,
June? Is it June?
August? August, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, cool.
Something like that. It's coming soon. We're not sure exact date. Don't quote us on the date, but it's coming soon. Um, what's the one thing that you hope the show does?
Hmm. Okay, so I really liked the different family dynamics,
Mhm.
and we also got a name drop in the trailer of the Harkonnen, and
Yes,
she seems
yes.
to be the head of the Bene Gesserits. So that looks really interesting, and I'm hoping to see more of the families and more of the planets, and what influences they have.
I agree. And one thing, and I know this might, maybe, I'm not trying to pin two genres or two series together, but I feel like this is going to compete very closely to Star Wars Acolyte because Star Wars Acolyte is about a small group of the Jedi's who are slowly uncovering an acolyte group of Siths who are trying to slowly have a long term plan to take over the galaxy, which we end up seeing in the Anakin Skywalker saga, episode 1 to 9. I feel like the acolyte and Dune Prophecy are going to be very highly, I guess, compared because both of them I feel like are somewhat pushing to the same end game with um, Paul Atreides taking over, with Anakin Skywalker with the Empire taking over, and about all the little political pieces and how everything happened. So I'm really curious to see if this show is going to do what I think it's going to do and outshine the Acolyte. I have a feeling they're going to.
I wouldn't put it past them. Personally, I don't have much hopes for the Acolyte. I hope to be proven wrong, but I wasn't really impressed with the trailer for Acolyte, in all honesty.
See, I agree. The trailer, I felt like something was missing with the trailer, but Also, this is Disney's first time ever getting involved or having a live action show based in the High Republic era. So I feel like if Disney's going to put a lot of money into something, they have to put a lot of money in this. But
Yeah,
we're not talking about Acolyte. We're talking about Dune Prophecy.
yeah,
So I do think Dune Prophecy. I think that might be that sneak, that show that came out of nowhere that's going to take everything by storm. And I have a feeling that we're going to be very pleased to see what happens
for
come
sure,
August or whenever.
for sure.
What's the next show that you have there on the docket?
Right. Okay. So this streaming service has won me a lot of credibility because Fallout was just so dang good. So, Rings of Power Season 2. Full disclosure, I watched the first two episodes of Season 1 and got bored out of my mind and stopped watching it. But I know AK watched the full Season 1. What's your
Yeah,
take on Season 2 trailer?
I guess before I go into season two itself, briefly on my opinion on season one, I'm with you. Season one was pretty bad. I wanted it to be good. I powered through, watched every episode. It was a drag. A lot of episodes, just the pacing was horrendous, and I felt like it just took forever to get to the point. That said, I felt like the last two episodes of the season one finally grasped me and finally had me intrigued to see what happens next. And I think the season two for Ring of Power, the teaser we had, it did just that. It rejuvenated my interest in Middle Earth, and I think if they listen to the critiques of season one, I think season two is going to be a lot better, and it looks to be a lot better.
It does. It looks more captivating.
It yes. One thing I'll give season one is its art direction, CGI, the set design, the costume designs was 10 out of 10.
Really? You
I
would think at
loved.
$1 billion, you'd hope that.
I mean, no, I think Rings of Power last year or 2 years ago might have been one of the most prettiest shows to watch.
Okay.
But pretty does not really mean a good show. And that's what I'm hoping is they got the prettiness down, they got the Middle Earth down, they got all the sets and all the locations, all the costumes, all the armor, everything was great. They just need to focus on the story and the dialogue. And I think if they can nail those two things in season two, I do have a feeling Wings of Power is going to make a 360 compared to season
Yeah,
one.
well, you know what they say, if you have infinite money, you're bound to make something good.
Yeah, I think all that money I spend on Amazon every month is going somewhere. So I
So,
think.
one key thing, right, in the trailer is Sauron looks different, or
Oh, so you
he's
know about
more
the tryst with
deceptive.
Sauron? You know about that tryst? Okay,
Yes, I read up on it.
okay, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, and I'll be honest, I have not read the Silmarillion. I've read synopsis of what the Silmarillion was about. I've read all the other books, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit. I've read all of that, but I'm not too well versed into the Middle Earth back like history. So that's where I think I didn't mind Rings of Power when it comes to lore, as a lot of fans did, because apparently the TV show took a lot of liberties. But I feel like from what I've read and what I've heard online, season two seems to be righting the wrongs of season one when it comes to like the history of Middle Earth. And like you said, Sauron, his change, I guess the way he looks, as apparently he's supposed to be portraying a elf and trying to get in the good graces. And I'm interested to see how it's going to play out because of the reveal at season one. I mean, he looks to be, just straightened his hair and gave him a wig. So I hope they kind of explain why the elves are so fooled by his appearance.
Yeah, I got nothing on that.
Because if
But
they
I
don't
will say
explain
this
it, it'd be
as,
silly.
yeah, I'm sure they will, right? As someone who was thoroughly disappointed with season one of Ring of Power, this looks really good, and it's actually spurred me on to go ahead and finish off season one before season two comes out. So I'm pretty hyped about it.
Yeah, same. So I would probably say compared to I say Dune, I'm like 10 out of 10 super hyped for Rings of Power. I'm skeptically hyped. I'm about seven. I'd say 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like that's my anticipation
Yeah,
level at.
yeah, I agree with that.
All right, and Now to the show that I actually been anticipating or like awaiting for a while now is House of the Dragon season two. I loved season one as someone who was disgruntled with season six, seven, and eight of Game of Thrones. I'm a massive book reader. You can ask Jay how often do I ramble about how pissed off I am about the conclusion to the HBO series Game of Thrones compared to what the books had or have so far. Unfortunately, it's been what 15 years since we read on the book, so we'll see how it concludes. But House of the Dragon, fantastic season. Have you seen season one yet?
I haven't. So yeah, funny thing about House of Dragon season one. I was so put off with Game of Thrones, the ending, like season six, seven, eight.
Yeah.
As I actually didn't mind six, but anyways, Game of Thrones was on track to be one of the greatest shows I've ever
Hmm.
seen, and the fall off that it had disappointed me to my core. So to gain that trust back, I was like, I need to first see how season one goes, like let people tell me, and then even season two. But looking at the trailer, it actually looks really good, and the acting just looks fantastic.
Oh
So
yes.
I think
I
I'll have to
think
give that a quick watch as well.
I will say because I thoroughly loved my grudge to season six, but season six itself was still overall a decent season of Game of Thrones. But I think House of the Dragon season one has the best acting of any season of Game of Thrones. Storytelling, I still think season three and season four of Game of Thrones was better than season one of House of Dragons. But for a first season, introducing the characters, introducing the world again, I thought House of Dragons did a brilliant job with explaining everything without being too in your face. And I thought what they set up was amazing.
That is awesome. I The trailer looked amazing, and I'm definitely
Yeah,
gonna be. I have a busy
I
few weeks.
yes, you do. Yes, I do think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. I think once you watch the first season of House of Dragon, I think it's going to rejuvenate your love for the Westeros, the world of Westeros, and the characters. So I honestly think you're going to enjoy season one.
Well, perfect. If any viewers are on my same boat, where we're very skeptical with HBO and the handling of Game of Thrones, AK gives a sign of approval.
As a big book reader, I think House of Dragon is doing where I think Game of Thrones failed at, and I feel like it's referencing the lore and history of A Song of Ice and Fire versus how Game of Thrones was kind of just like we're not going to explain the background of the story, we're just going to throw you in it. I feel like this is doing a good job at explaining from day one all the way to now without being too complicated. So I think they're doing a good
Yeah.
job. If you like lore, if you like history, you'll love the show.
So I could be mistaken, but I think this season, season two, is gonna be slightly shorter, right? I think,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
unfortunately, they
gonna
said 8 episodes, which is
8 episodes.
which
And
is
you
a
know
red
what other
flag.
season had 8 episodes?
Yeah, and apparently, and this is something that I was actually thank you for mentioning it. Apparently, a couple of the show writers or show runners, I'm not sure exactly who, but I was reading an article yesterday about that, and apparently, it was not their choice. HBO is the one who made that decision,
Mm,
which does worry me
yeah.
slightly. It does worry me because apparently Game of HBO wants to, or Max now they call themselves, but apparently they want to double down with the whole Westeros storyline. Apparently they have a couple of animated shows in the docket. Plus they want to do an Aegon Conquest, and they also now casted and they're starting. I think they're going to start filming Duncan and Egg, based on the novellas, which is to come out next year. So it's weird. If HBO Max is doubling down on the Game of Thrones content, why would you cut the next season short? So we'll see.
Whenever production companies go and start meddling with the showrunners, I don't know, man. That's
Yeah,
red flags.
it is, but also Game of Thrones, they gave Dan and Dave full control over the assets and they butchered
Yeah,
it. So maybe HBO is just scared of something like that happening again, so they want to have more hands on, especially when House of Dragons was such a big money maker for them a couple years ago. I don't know. There's a lot of
Yeah,
speculations, a lot of conspiracies. I'm not one to delve into conspiracies or speculations. I just hope it's good.
yeah. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So the next one we have is Only Murders in the Building. I know we both watched seasons one, two, and three.
Mhm.
Um, season four trailer. So I think in this they're going to California. That's what it seems like, or Hollywood
Yes.
in a sense.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about it?
I mean, I loved the show. I just actually recently watched it a couple weeks ago. Finally finished it all up. I think season three personally was my favorite season. Though,
Wow.
okay, I'm not a big musical fan, and I think that's why I
Okay.
loved it. Is it had some of the funniest lyrics and some of the funniest like just random one-off scenes that just had me dying. Like with the whole at the last episode, when they try to convince the cop, like trying to record of all of her
Yeah.
interviews,
Yeah.
like it just, I was just dying laughing, and it was well done. Like it wasn't like a horribly, like it was kind of convoluted, but I feel like
Hmm.
every season was kind of convoluted for the sake of
Yeah.
the show. But I just enjoyed it. Plus, I felt like it had a lot more character development with my favorite character in the show, Martin Short's character. He's my favorite
Okay.
character, so I feel like they actually gave him more think time to shine. Oliver Putman, so I liked him a lot.
No, that's
Um,
awesome.
but it looks like what's his name? His double, Steve Martin's double, is the one who died in this at the end of this episode,
Yeah, in
right?
the end of season
Yeah,
three, right?
Spaz, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, which I loved. Jane Lynch killed it as his body double. So I'm really hoping that she has more, I guess, screen time, because that's another thing I want. I want more screen time with her because she steals every scene she's in.
Yeah, more screen time for a dead person. Yeah. Maybe
For
you can
that, I
do
mean,
like
they do that. They kill them off at the beginning of the
yeah, I know.
episode, then they show how they died.
Kind of like
Throughout the,
Paul Rudd's character. Right, right, right.
exactly, yeah, they killed
Yeah.
them off literally the first 5 minutes. They sprinkled them in
Yeah.
still,
Seems
and
interesting. They're bringing us some really funny people. Kumail Nanjiani,
oh yes,
Zach Galifianakis. Uh, there are a
Meryl
few
Streep is
others.
back too,
Yeah,
and I think
she's
she's
back.
the first character who's had a return like as a guest character from
Guest.
season
Okay.
to season.
Yeah.
Um, the only that's probably the only thing I'm worried about is they're leaving the building to go to Hollywood, and I
Yeah.
hope it doesn't like overcomplicate the situation because I feel like leaving it in like a central location without them having to spend the budget to go elsewhere allows them to do more with the
Hmm.
characters. But
Right.
and
So
how
I'll be
long? Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't like season three. My biggest gripe with it was the cost was too big. I couldn't spend enough time with any
That
one
is true.
person. I can't
Yeah.
remember any of the new characters. Um, so even with the three leads, I felt like I wasn't as invested with their storylines. So I'm worried of season four for that reason. I think it's gonna go in the same trap, but I hope they're able
Uh-huh.
to break out of it.
Yeah, you are right. I feel like because season three, I think, was the first time that they didn't really have much to do with the other apartment or hotel liver, like the people who live in the hotel, the residents. And I feel like season one and season two did a great job at including those side characters,
Yeah.
which I kind of missed. I missed a couple of those side characters, like the who from blanking on some of the characters now, but who's the mob who's the restaurant owner, the guy who was the back who was the
Oh
villain of
yeah,
season
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
He
He
wasn't
did the
in season
dips and stuff.
three, yeah, and he was great in season one too. I really hope he makes a return. I know his son made a return, but what
Yeah,
happened to like Selena Gomez's like best friend from season one? He hasn't been seen since season one. Like they're best friends, childhood friends. I'm like, you expect him to have more screen time, and he hasn't been mentioned
yeah,
since season one.
yeah. It
So
was kind of weird. Yeah,
yeah, so I'm hoping like those characters, even like Charles's stepdaughter or like wannabe stepdaughter from season two,
yeah.
she was such a
That was a good
cute
storyline.
addition, and I
Yeah,
wanted her to continue in season three, but it was kind of dropped off in season three. So those type of things, I kind of hope they bring back and don't forget those past cast members. But
yeah.
My only other concern with this TV show is how many seasons can this premise go?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Interesting, cute trailer. That's all I gotta say. It's a cute
Yeah,
trailer. You know, I'll watch it, but it's not like my highest like anticipated show. I just thought it was cute.
I agree. I'm skeptically optimistic.
Yeah,
It's
I
as
mean, I'll
best as
watch
I
it.
can do.
It's
Yeah,
a good popcorn
I'll
like
definitely watch it.
background.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's a good popcorn background like TV show. Like I don't have to like focus and like put things down like Dune or Rings of Power, House of Dragons going to be. So I feel like it's a good palate cleanser compared to the other three shows.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So the last one I have like no input on, which is The Boys.
The Boys. So, do you know any background of what The Boys is about?
Yeah, so it's a highly capitalistic, commercialized version of superheroes.
Hmm.
And so I get the premise of it, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know any of the characters.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, without spoiling much of the TV show itself, because I do think you will
Go
love
for
the
it. Just
show.
spoil it, man. Don't worry about
No,
it.
no, no.
I will
I'm
remember.
not. I'm telling you, the reason why I don't want to spoil anything is I do think you are going. I think this might be one of your favorite shows of all time once you get around to watching it. It's definitely your humor, definitely your political. It has a lot of politics, a lot of humor, a lot of dark stuff, and I think you'll enjoy it. But it's going, especially during this presidential election season that's going on. This season also is going to be more politically driven. They said every
Hmm.
season takes things that happen in the outside world and integrate it into the real world. And in the universe of the boys, there's a presidential election going on as well.
Oh,
There's a
nice.
candidate who's pro soups and a candidate that's anti soups, and then also somebody who's running as the vice president in this season is also a superhero that no one knows about. She's an identity, and she's going on a killing streak. She has almost maybe, I think she killed about 10 members of Congress in the last couple of seasons,
Jeez.
and they don't know that she's the villain. Like she's the one who's been doing all of this. So
Okay,
in
killing members of Congress. Are you the villain? Really? Jokes, 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 jokes.
don't cancel us. We're still 3 months into our YouTube careers. Don't cancel us now. But I'm very interested to see how they're going to handle the politics because they're taken so the main hero is named Homelander, and last season they kind of made him into the Trump of this universe, which
That's pretty
is
funny.
brilliant because he's a very egotistical, prideful character who doesn't who wants a bunch of yes men around him. Um, and the way they ended off the last season is he's about to go to court, which where we all know is going on right now. So, like I said, the way they've written the show, intentionally or unintentionally related to our politics, is brilliant.
Yeah, the creator is Seth Rogen, right?
Seth Rogen, same guy who did Invincible.
Okay. Yeah.
Seth Rogen, he's producer, and also Amazon. You were talking about Amazon earlier with Fallout.
Yeah.
Amazon has three big shows this year. They had four big shows: Invincible, Fallout, Rings of Power, and The Boys season 4. And they had Gen V that came out late last year, which is a spin-off of The Boys, which also I know you haven't seen it, but The Boys they had a spin-off show last year called Gen V and Generation V. A couple of the characters in that show actually made a cameo appearance in this trailer, so I'm very interested to see how that's going to happen,
Oh,
especially with
nice.
the plot that Gen V had or Gen Z had.
Okay.
Is it Gen Z?
I think
V?
Gen V.
I think it's Gen V. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, Gen V. So very interested to see how the two plots are going to combine and merge together. Also, what's that actor's name? The guy who played Negan from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Um, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in this new season, so I'm interested to see who he's going to play. Great actor, he's very
I love
charismatic.
that actor.
Yeah, he's such a good actor. So I'm excited to see him in the show. And only issue I have with this show is I do feel like it's kind of going against what the show's about. The show's kind of anti-capitalistic, like you were saying, and they have now two spin-off shows, an animated show, The Boys Diabolical and Gen Z or Gen V. Now they have season four. They just announced season five, and they also announced that they are thinking of doing some um, another animated series as well. To what point are they going to become basically what they're making fun of? Because the season one they were making fun of Avengers and DC and MCU. They're basically, I feel like they're slowly becoming what they were making fun of. So I'm wondering, like, is it time that Amazon pulls a plug on the show soon before it gets too on the nose?
Well, if it makes money, it makes money.
That's yeah, and that's exactly what the show is mocking against.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Are
I
you
think you'll
hyped for
love.
season 4?
Oh yeah, the trailer was amazing.
Ah, then they got you, bud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I think this is the background, but I know I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. I know there's been a couple of other shows that came out, but nothing too big that was on my radar. Did anything else catch your eyes?
mm, I mean, I know season 4 of Demon Slayer. That's coming out, or
Okay, nice,
actually
nice.
episode 1 is already out. And yeah, nothing else really.
Huh? Season four, of Demon Slayer. Oh wow! How long have you guys been waiting for that one now? I think it's been 2 years. I was looking online.
No, it's been
No,
less. Yeah,
that's been less.
about a
Okay,
year, I think.
okay, cool, cool, nice. Have you caught up to the show?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah.
I know you were telling me to watch that, and I'm like you said, there's a
Uh,
whole docket of shows I need to watch. So
Watch Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just 2 seasons, and season 2 is it's crazy.
it's crazy. I like that. Well, um, of the five shows we mentioned, Dune Prophecy, Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, Only Murderers, and The Boys, which one? I know you haven't seen half of those shows, but which one of those are you want to check out like immediately?
It's got to be Dune.
Still Dune, especially
Yeah,
after
still
we broke
Dune.
down Rings of Power, House of Dragons, and all that. You still Team Dune?
Still Dune. I don't
Still
know,
Team Dune.
man. Something about it.
Sounds
Something
good. I
about it just
think
looked really
yeah,
good.
I think mine is Dune, House of Dragons, The Boys, Only Murderers, and Rings of Power.
Yeah,
I still
I think
think Rings
the
of Power is my
best
least.
trailer was probably Rings of Power, like the most
Agreed.
engaging. But Dune just I don't know that looked really interesting to me.
Yeah, I think the reason why I put Dune at the bottom of my list compared to the five, I'm not Dune. I apologize. Rings of Power, it's just because of the piss poor season one. That's the only reason why that's like my least anticipated Rings of
Yeah,
Power.
I get
Dune,
that.
I feel like I'm still coming off the high from Dune two, so I'm I would just love to sit in this world even longer, just
Yeah,
see what's going on in this world. So,
this
uh,
sad, dreary, completely void of happiness universe. It's such a sad universe.
so it really is. It really is one of the most depressing things I've ever seen, but
Yeah,
they do it so well. Do you know is what's his name? Dennis. Is he going to be involved in Doom Prophecy?
I have no
Denis
idea.
Villeneuve? No. Okay.
Yeah, no idea.
I hope he is because I feel like he understands this universe and this world. So I hope they have his input. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that should be all for us. Anything else you got to say, Jay?
Nope. Just peace.
Peace. Well, this has been the Popcorn Perspective. It's AK and J with the May trailers for TV shows. If you like, comment, let us know below. Which one are you guys most anticipated for? Which trailer should we check out? Which show should we check out? Leave a comment below. Thanks.
Thanks. Peace.